I want to bring in Daniel Horowitz. He's a senior editor of Conservative Review, which is a sister website to The Blaze. And we welcome him. Really good insight, especially on this. He is the author of Stolen Sovereignty, which is a book about how to stop these judges from stealing the rest of whatever it is we have left. Daniel, welcome to the program. How are you?
Great to be with you, Glenn. What a monologue.
So what did I get wrong? Did I get anything wrong, or did I understate or overstate anything?
Well, I think you started with absolutely the right thing. Joe Biden said what 30 years ago? He said that the judiciary is the most significant branch. Right there is the mistake. Our founders said comparatively it is the weakest branch, neither force nor will, in the words of Hamilton. It was supposed to merely adjudicate cases and controversies. If they would intersect with political issues, it would be judgment for that plaintiff. You get relief. But to so-called strike down, veto, and certainly affirmatively legislate broad policy on borders, immigration, election law, life, marriage, every single societal, political, cultural question, the outcome is in a court. And by the way, now in any one of the 673 district judges, they are the final say unless somehow overturned. And then even then they come back for more. If we countenance such a system, we already don't have a republic. What the Democrats are afraid of is that right now the court's kind of about where it was before. You know, we swapped Scalia for Gorsuch. We swapped Kennedy for Kavanaugh. Yeah, maybe he's a little better. There's some chink in his armor.
Right.
They're scared about Ginsburg retiring or, God forbid, passing away. And I think this is their next notch in this one-way ratchet, their game of we win, you lose in the judicial supremacy game.
Okay, so do you think that this actually would have a chance if they win in 2020? They don't have to do it because they would most likely get Ginsburg, the replacement. I don't think she's going to make it, another 5 years. Maybe she will. But do you think they would actually do this if they're in charge of both the House, the Senate, and the White House?
I really don't think they will do it. I really think this is a campaign tactic, and I know I might be in the minority with that because they already have a successful scheme of we win, you lose, heads we win, tails we win, because right now what they're doing is, remember, you could always be more progressive than precedent. What do you think Roe or Obergefell are, if not overturning 200 years of precedent? Obergefell overturned a 9-0 case. They could do that anytime. Even when we win in the Supreme Court, guess what happens? They come back to a lower court, and a lower court judge could always be more progressive. You saw that with the travel ban. In Trump v. Hawaii, the Supreme Court said categorically the president has this authority. They came back for more. Courts are putting one injunction after another. Conservative judges would never do the same thing on a lower court. So my point is, broadly speaking, we have a judicial emergency. The president, by my count, has had 25 items, education, labor, environment, immigration, you name it, where he simply just countermanded a discretionary policy that didn't exist from George Washington until the second term of Obama, and court said, you must continue it. If that is going to continue, I think the Democrats already won.
So is this a case, do you think, of maybe the Overton window, to where they are moving this so crazy that they will make everybody go, okay, well, whew, all right, they're only nominating somebody crazy. They're not putting, 6 more people on the court.
Glenn, I am so glad you said that, because I think that's exactly the point. And I think I'm a little bit afraid some of our people are being distracted by this, because what is already happening, there's enough nuclear jurisprudence in these courts to destroy this republic 10 times over, even if they wouldn't add anything else. What you're seeing right now, remember, Antonin Scalia, before he died, said, I've never seen the Supreme Court this liberal. And, right now, it's not that much different. And if anything, Roberts has moved to the left.
Yes.
Maybe Kavanaugh is a little better than Kennedy, although there are issues from a conservative perspective with him so far. And what I'm saying is, if you notice, they are very slow to tamp down the lower courts. Last year, the Supreme Court heard roughly 65 cases, the fewest since the Civil War, while the lower courts are hearing more cases than ever. No matter what they do to violate the laws of standing, justiciability, granting relief, universal injunctions. The Supreme Court doesn't seem to be slapping that down. So my warning to conservatives is, I think this is just a broader Trojan horse for the Democrats to distract us, but also, like you said, to move the goalposts forward. So we think we're winning the game while they have already long rigged it to heads they win, tails they win.
I am so concerned, Daniel. I made a list of things that I thought, that we should talk about, like the national debt. It's going to crush us to death. And things that are just going to put us out as a republic. But I came up with a list of 5 things today that if we don't talk about and fix right away, I don't think we make it to the national debt destroying us. And one of those was the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. They are being dismantled like crazy. They're coming apart. Nobody is paying attention to this stuff. And we are having these candidates talk about broad changes that are wholly unconstitutional. And I don't think do people get that?
Well, I think people will get it once this presidential election commences in earnest, certainly in the general election. But what I think conservatives need to focus on is this. A lot of people are scared of AOC, Bernie Sanders, O'Rourke. Each one's more radical than the next. The reality is, in my view, their policies will be enacted much quicker in the courts than what they could ever accomplish through the political process. Think about it. Green New Deal. Just over the last 2 weeks, courts have mandated that Trump take into account climate change, something Obama made up outside of statute. They shut down drilling in Alaska. They shut down drilling in Wyoming. Liberals want to do what? They want to abolish ICE and Border Patrol. I got news for you. What do you think has happened as a result of these district judges? We essentially have no Border Patrol, and ICE is being denuded of what they can do every day.
Daniel, I'd like to have you on again here soon and talk a little bit more about this, because I think there's a lot here that people need to be aware of. Thank you so much.